Okay, hello. Elmarie here from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. It's Yarn Friday. I am discussing and telling you about one of my favorite yarns that I absolutely love using. Let's see if I can do something about this light. Ooh, now it's way too light. Oh, what? Okay, as I said, I stock Moya yarns, and the yarns that I have of Moya, I have several of the series, of the collections, of their collections. Let's call it collections. I have double knits in quite a large variation of colors, although it's not most of the color, it's not all of the colors, just quite a few already that I have. I also have Moya, Aran and Caresse. I have the Timu 10 ply. I don't have a lot of that in stock. I have a little bit of bamboo left. I sold out most of it. It's not a popular yarn in Worcester. It's a great yarn, but it's not a popular one in my area. I can recommend it though. It's got a high twist. It doesn't split on you. You get a lot done with bamboo. As I said, it's just not popular in my area. Then I also have a small amount of 3-ply baby weight left. And then the other one that I had some in stock and sold it to someone is another one of these series called Lux, which has 80% bamboo and 20% cotton, which is a lovely yarn. And then there are two other series that I don't stock simply because it doesn't sell here. So one is a very, very thick yarn, which is it's really a lovely yarn. It's amazing. It's thick. It's thicker than the 10 ply. And then I've also got, that will be plush. And there's also a very, very thin lace yarn available called Plume that I also don't have in stock simply because it doesn't sell, which is really sad because it's a lovely yarn. The one I want to talk about today is my personal favorite. Now you would immediately say double knit, right? No, I love the double knit. I'm busy crocheting a blanket with it. And I'm mixing it with colors of grace 4-ply. I love the double knit. But Caresse is by far my favorite to work with. Moya Caresse is, I'll show you the label. I've got a ball here. Ooh. And it's too shiny, so you won't be able to see anything. Anyway, it's 110 meters. I'm not sure how much that is in yards. The recommended needle size is 5.5 and 5, and hook size is 5 millimeters. I have several different colors. The colors are pretty much the same amount of colors as you will get with double knit, although there are some colors available in double knit that you won't get in Caresse. It's still quite a very large color palette. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to drink my coffee. I need the caffeine. And it's got a tight twist, so it doesn't split on you. But here's the interesting bit. Oh, I just want to move this. Do you see the texture? That's what I love. Now, Moya consists of just the normal amount of, almost like I think quite like a double knit. But thicker than a double knit, typical thickness change from double knit to Aran. So that will be it. And then in between, it's got this little fine piece of thread almost. It looks thicker than it is. It looks thicker on the camera than it actually is. Twist it into it. So that's what gives it this really amazing texture. And I have done several different things with Caresse. I like it because it's so easy to work with. It really is easy to work with. I love the colors, but more than the colors are it's so easy to work with, and it's so versatile. This was one of the very first things I made with Moya Caresse. You see, it's just a shawl. I wear this thing all the times. It's my go-to. It's cotton. That's the other thing I forgot to say. Sorry. Let me just drink some more, get some more caffeine into myself, and hopefully I'll, it's cotton. So in winter, when it is so cold, it's warm, keeps you warm. See, that's what I made with my Pico Edgy and all. This one was quite large. It's more than 1 meter wide. See, like this. And if I remember correctly, sorry about that. I'm just looking at this and trying to remember how many balls of yarn it took. I changed colors. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 8 or 9 in total. And really, the price isn't that bad because my price on this particular yarn is 32 Rand or 34. 32. It's 32. So, no, I'm talking nonsense. I think it's 34 or 35. Anyway, it's somewhere in that quarters, which is really not expensive for 100% cotton yarn. I want to show you the others, and then I knitted with it, and that's crochet. This one I've shown. I love this one. I absolutely love it. I'm wearing this to bits as well. I just had to wash it, which is the Linus one. It's the Linus shawl. I love this pattern. I think I'm going to get stuck with it. I mean, I worked it out, all the color changes and stuff myself, but the basic pattern, and the basic pattern has garter stitch, and I did stocking knit. But this was also done with Moya Caresse, and you would not think it if you compare it to the texture in this one. It's two completely different. It feels really different. This one is knitted and that one is crocheted. But even so, you can feel the texture, but it actually feels ever so slightly different. This will be my one knitted one, and the other one I just want to say is really ugly. It's ugly. It was my emergency scarf that I had to knit when I was getting so cold. I did this with 3 strands at a time. It really is very ugly. I'm sorry, but it works. It's warm. It's against my neck. And it was so I actually went and crocheted the edges because it was very, very ugly. Couldn't stand it. So I crocheted around the edges just to give it something. And this was done with Moya Caresse with 3 strands. 3 strands and a number 12. Yeah, it was a 12 knitting needle. You see? And that's what I got. So you've got 3 different, completely completely different finished objects done with the same yarn. As I said, I love the versatility of this yarn. I could do a lot of different things with double knit as well. I could do a lot of different things with any sort of yarn, really. It all depends on your hook size or your needle size, or if you're going to do 2 strands at a time, 1 strand, whatever you want to do. I can even go with Moya's double knit. I can go as low, the recommended hook size. If the recommended hook size is a 3.5 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, I go down to 2.5 without having any problems whatsoever with splits. And the same goes for Caresse. The only thing I can say about Caresse is that when you are knitting, you have to remember that little small piece of string in between. Because if you're going to knit with quite and I like knitting with a needle with a sharp point. I don't like, I suppose it's because of crocheting all those the years and not being used to, yeah, I don't know, I don't like a needle with a round head, whatever. And I work with Addies, so I choose the lace ones. And if you don't put in your needle carefully, you will go past that little piece of string. But once you're aware of it, that just doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't. The larger part of the it doesn't. This one doesn't split. So the larger part doesn't split. You might end up going in between this middle bit. But as I said, once you get the hang of it, I don't have splits for this. I don't even when I knit have splits. I think I had twice when I knitted. I realized, whoops, I've got the needle right in between the strand, and then after that I just get so my hand sort of got used to the whole thing. So I knew I don't go, and it's just like I don't know how much of a millimeter difference it is, but you just go from there to there, and then you don't go into them. So yes, I love this yarn. I'll talk about the other yarns on Friday that I have in stock as well as I go along. When it comes to my cottons, I love them all. As far as personal preference, if you have to tell me to go, I have to do a project now, and I have to go pick out a ball of yarn from my rack now, I will probably navigate to the Moya Caresse first, and then to the double knit, and then to the Timo. In that, once again, that's personal preference. That's got nothing to do with the yarn itself or the quality of the yarn. I don't have bad quality yarns at all. None of them. Not Moya, not Colors of Grace. No, I don't have one bad yarn, bad quality yarn on my rack at all. I have great respect for all of these ladies that are dying. I think even though they get their raw products from the same place, they usually do, the mills that spin it for them, I can honestly say that from one person to the next person dyeing the exact same yarn, you will not get the same result. I have seen people working with the exact same yarn and making a total mess of it. So I can say with surety that the the two ladies, the two different yarn companies that I keep yarn, that I stock the yarn, has a really good quality product. I can sell it with a clear conscience. But honestly, for myself, especially in winter, and if you are a knitter, try Moya Caresse. If you are interested, please let me know. Send me a message. Anyway, this is Yarn Friday at its end. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. See you again on Monday. As I said before, I am in the offices at the moment from another week and a half, but I will see you again. In the meantime, please keep contact. I will keep on putting my videos. Bye.